Last week, I completed a project that I had wanted to do for a number of years, installing a photovoltaic solar system to generate some electricity to offset our consumption. This system is 16 panels, 2 arrays of 8. They are 345 watts each, so it gives us the 5.5 kilowatts. The panels actually are from Korea, South Korea, and they come with these 2 wires coming off of a junction box. That gives you direct current, and it's fed into a micro inverter. We're using the AP Systems YC600, and that allows the connection of 2 DC feeds from 2 panels, the one on the right here and the one on the left. And coming out of that is 240 volts, 60 cycles AC. So that feeds directly to your electric panel and onto the BCHydro grid. Very interesting is the microinverters handle the conversion of DC to 60 cycles, 240 volts, but also synchronizing with the electricity on the grid. And the other thing is that whenever the grid goes down, it's a requirement that the solar system shut off instantly. And so that means that when we are actually wiring it, it is not connected to the grid. Therefore, there's no electricity being generated until such time as the installation is complete and it's connected to a functioning BCHydro grid. So that makes it quite safe. Little details about our racking here. The roof is odd shaped, so it required special racking, which I built from channels and angles of aluminum, which is easier to handle than steel. So let's look at the installation. Basically, on this array you see 4 micro inverters, and they're connected to a trunk wire. Again, it just clips in, so it's very simple. And then finally it comes out here into this box. The box is grounded. The whole array is grounded through this grounding lug here. And we'll have a look at it here. So the left array hooks up to this 15 amp breaker, and the right array is essentially identical in another breaker. So the power from the microinverter circuit comes through a weather tight fitting into the panel, and then we already saw our little ground wire here. The electricity from the right array there comes to this panel through a number 12 Tech 90 cable, which crosses the roof deck in a protected PVC conduit over to the other side. On the other side, it's connected to the microinverters in a little junction box. So back here you have the 2 breakers, and then they combine into a single down feed wire, which is number 10, and that goes through a special flashing in the roof to downstairs. Just to talk about some innovations in the technology. Previous systems required a continuous ground between every panel and the racking, and so it had to be a continuous wire the whole length of the panels. With the new type of rails and these special clamps, you just simply torque them to the required torque. In this case it was 10.5 foot-pounds, and that causes the stainless steel insert in these clamps here to to cut into the frame and then assure a ground. So there's 4 of these per panel, 2 on each side, top and bottom. So that gives you the ground. Very important that you use a torque wrench. And that's it. So that's the back of the arrays on the rack. I painted the aluminum black so it sort of disappears. And then let's go downstairs and we will see the electric panel. I think they're quite attractive, actually. So this is a standard sub panel, and there's a couple of labels that were put on, and that is requirements. I'd originally wanted to hire an electrician to do the electrical installation, and I actually spoke with one, but he had never done one before and was very concerned about it. So then I ended up taking out a homeowner's permit from BC TechnicalSafety, and that allowed me to do the wiring myself, and it was inspected by the inspector last week. There was a couple of minor changes which I did on the spot, and then he approved it. So we're connected to the grid as we speak. So that's a line drawing. The inspector required that that be installed in a visible place on the panel, and it shows one array with the microinverters, the second array microinverters, line drawing to the junction box we saw with the 2 breakers, and then the wire coming to this panel. So that's an overview of the system. On the panel, he required these 2 labels, and I didn't put them on until he came, so he told me exactly where he wanted them. That one pertains to the breaker, which is a new breaker I installed, 30 amps, and that's it. And then the panel itself has this other label saying that it's a 2 power source parallel system. Now there's a similar label that's put on the electric meter at the entrance, and that covers it. So that's about it. I must say I'm very happy with Viridian. I had originally thought about buying it from a company in Washington State, but then with the whole free trade thing, I decided to go local, and I couldn't have been happier than I am with the service I got from Viridian. First class product, and excellent feedback and response to my questions. So that's it for now. It's working well. We are saving money.